Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, last Saturday, we discussed research, the different types of research you could undertake in order to make your stories, your fan fictions, or if you're venturing out into actual uh, possible authorhood. Um, your original stories, make your original stories richer, more interesting, more grounded in reality, as it were. I'm a big proponent that um, fiction in some way should follow natural laws. My as I've probably said before, my son-in-law and I had talked about magic, the fact that magic doesn't really exist as it pertains to Harry Potter and other other incarnations like that, other books, movies, TV shows like that, witches and wizards and all that stuff. Um, and his position is, and I agree, that it doesn't exist right now because true magic doesn't exist right now because the scientific community hasn't explored that fully enough. Um, just like psychic abilities, precognition, telepathy, telekinesis, that kind of stuff. Um, there have been explorations into psionic abilities, and there's been some scant evidence of it. Uh, to my mind, the reading the cards for the wave lines or the circle or square, triangle, whatever. Uh, Personally, I think it's more lucky guess than anything else. I don't know. Maybe the scientists, because they want because they want confirmation bias, give some sort of clue as to what is on the card, or they don't check their surroundings well enough, and there might be a reflection behind them that's showing what the card is. Because let's face it, if you want something bad enough, you want to believe something bad enough, you want something to be true bad enough, you will unconsciously do whatever it is you need to do in order to confirm it. Confirmation bias. Um, uh, Far too many people, researchers, who want what they believe to be true, will unconsciously or consciously set up situations where they can prove that what they want to believe is true. Um, it's it's a gray area. A lot of these researches into different things that can't be quantifiable by hard science and proof are gray areas. Religion and gods, another area that I'm not going to get into because I will put it right out there. I'm an atheist. Um, and until until something comes down or comes up or comes out of somewhere and stands directly in my face and provides empirical, unimpeachable, quantifiable, repeatable proof that it exists, it doesn't exist. So, and I'm pretty sure I probably chased away a few viewers because of that, but I don't care. It's it's my position, and I'm entitled to have whatever opinion I want to have, as long as it's based in some sort of reality, which it is. Now, here's the kind of research I've been talking about. I found a website. It's http:// members, Mad as a Fish, MADASAFISH, all one word, .com / CJ _ Whitehound, WHITEHOUND, all lowercase, and that's all one word, / fanfic, capital FANFIC, / capital LOCATION _ capital LOCATION .htm. Okay, location, and fanfic are spelled how you are written how you would write a proper noun, with the first letter capitalized and the rest of them lowercase. This person lives in the UK and has taken a great deal of their time researching, using the books, researching and extrapolating from the descriptions in the books of distances from one space to another, to give you a really good idea of where the locations in the Harry Potter series would be. It's brilliant, and I've taken that information and run with it. They have a list of locations that they have done the research for. They've got Diagon and Nocturne Alley, Grimmauld Place, the Ministry of Magic, and St. Mungo's, Little Whinging and Vernon's Island, the little island rock in the middle of the sea where they tried to escape the letters, Spinner's End, Ottery St. Catchpole, Tinworth and Shell Cottage, Godric's Hollow, and they also did an explanation of the infamous missing 26 hours between when Voldemort killed the Potters and Harry showed up at Little Whinging, number 4. The site of the Quidditch World Cup, the Horcrux Cave, where Riddle hid the locket, Azkaban, and label Other, which includes Upper Fladgley, Great and Little Hangleton, Malfoy Manor, and the Forest of Dean. Now, the Forest of Dean exists in the real world, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Forest of Dean exists in the real world. It's not a fantasy location, and neither is Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest also exists in the real world. Anywho, so I took those locations, and what I did was I went online, looked for castles and manors that were for sale or were abandoned, and I took those addresses and I put those addresses for specific characters. Like Longbottom Manor, I found a wonderful little place for their location. Hogwarts is in Inverness, according to their information. So I just went ahead and put, because let's face it, Hogwarts isn't going to have a specific address. Hogsmeade, the little village outside of Hogwarts, also in the same area. the Leaky Cauldron. Uh, they specified a certain pub in London where where they suspected that the Leaky Cauldron would be, and I took that address and ran with it. The Ministry of Magic is underneath a building in London, so I've got that address as well. And it didn't take much. It doesn't take much to do a little bit of research to add a little bit of uh, interest to your stories. On top of that, on top of those addresses, I also researched castles for sale and abandoned derelict castles in the world as well. And I've got quite a few of them. And they make wonderful addresses and everything. And they make wonderful homes, like for Slytherin Castle, or if you want to give your characters a beautiful, grand palace. There are quite a few, believe it or not, there are quite a few castles for sale in the U.S. And I've got all those addresses as well. This is what I meant by research. Finding those little nuggets of real world that you can inject into your stories, because not only does it make the stories more interesting, it makes the stories more well-rounded. The people who read your stories will see those addresses, will see those locations. Oh, that's just down. This is so cool. My little neck of the world is included in this story. That's just fabulous. In one of my stories, where the Dursleys actually take Harry in and adopt him and make him part of their family instead of, treating him like a piece of garbage that they just, hide. They decide to go to Castelo Brujo in Brazil instead of Hogwarts because, Dumbledore in most of my stories is not nice. Because I didn't think he was very great, very, very, very honorable in the original book. He had his own agenda, and he wasn't going to let anything interfere with it. His quest for power when he was younger with Grindelwald never really went away. He just found a different way to channel it. So anyway, they were not going to risk sending Harry to Hogwarts because of Dumbledore's agenda. So they're going to Castelo Brujo. So what I did was I looked up the tube line for the trains from Surrey to the docks so that they could sail to Brazil, because they weren't gonna go by plane. Let's face it, little kids on planes, not the best. And in the intervening years while they were raising Harry, they had a pair of twins, Dudley and Jerrica. So they decided to sail. They had plenty of time, and it was a good way to get away from it all and just relax and, decompress from all the stress of living so close to where the Potters died, and living so close to a man who was hellbound to pretty much destroy little Harry's life. Let's face it. That's what he did in the story. He pretty much destroyed the kid's life for no other reason than because he had an agenda. So I did that trip from train to train, from changeover to changeover, so they get to the docks. And one of my readers like, "Yay! Shout out to Guilford, my hometown." It allows the readers to become more of a part of the story if you include real life information in such a way that they're like, "Yeah, I know where that is. Oh, this is so cool." It does. It adds a layer of fun and involvement for your readers, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the best thing that you could possibly do. That's what books and TV shows, movies, comic books, that's what they all should do. They should, in some way, involve the readers, pull the readers in so that they're invested in the story and the outcome. It makes it better for them if they can, somehow, even if it's vicariously, be involved, which is why I enjoy having the readers contribute ideas, because they give me the best ideas for some of these chapters. The best ideas for some of these chapters. The absolute best ideas for some of these chapters. Oh, you have no idea. And it helps. It makes them feel more a part of the process. It makes them feel more a part of the community that I've created with my stories. Now, let's talk about inspiration. I get inspiration for my stories from a variety of areas, a variety of sometimes it's from reading other authors' stories. For an example, Bob Min 356 has a bunch of really great stories on fanfic.net. It's capital B, lowercase o, B, M, I, N, 356. One of the greatest he has is a brilliant crossover between Harry Potter and Pern. The first story in the series is called The Queen Who Fell to Earth. It pulls you in. I've never read the Pern series. Back in the day when I was younger, sword and sorcery type books and movies just really didn't interest me all that much. Harry Potter changed that. I came to it late in life because Harry Potter was late in my life. But Harry Potter changed that. And when I started reading The Queen Who Fell to Earth, I was hooked. I was fascinated. It introduced a different type of fiction to me. And one of these days, I will start buying the Pern books and start reading them. Whenever my muse finally kicks the bucket and I no longer have the impetus to want to contribute to AO3, contribute to the fanfiction community. But until then, anyway, another one of his stories is The Power of Saying No. And it's Harry, Hermione, and Ron being taken to another island that's got some sort of time delay on it, so they can be really trained to fight Voldemort, as opposed to, well, you be a kid, don't worry about it until it's too late, and, well, he has to shoot you in the face for him to be completely eradicated, kind of thing. Moody and Lupin were not going to have that. They were so not agreeable to Harry being groomed to be a human sacrifice, which is pretty much what it was. Harry was being groomed his entire life to be a human sacrifice. They have magic. There should be ways to be able to get rid of that thing in his head so he wouldn't have to die to get rid of it. Magic. Okay? Just saying. Anyway, they just gotten done with a really heavy, heavy training session, and we're kind of sprawled out on their beds, just trying to breathe. We've all been there. And Lupin comes in and says, "Come on, you got to get up. You got to eat. You got to keep moving, or else your muscles are gonna." And Harry quips, "Isn't it time for your flea bath, Wolf?" And Lupin says, "Werewolves don't have fleas. You ever seen a wereflea?" And it hit me. It hit me. So what I did, research, I looked up all the blood-sucking insects that exist at this time. Because my silly little brain said, what if mosquitoes and chiggers and fleas and other blood-sucking insects decided to snack on the world's werewolves? What would happen? So it's percolating right now, but eventually the story will be posted that Hogwarts is overrun with were insects. It just hit me, but that's how my inspiration comes, and or I'll just be sitting here with one of my latest stories. I'll be sitting here and I'll be thinking about the next chapter for the next story in line, and all of a sudden I'll be like, now wait a minute, what would happen if that Dementor that was on the train in third year actually ate most of Harry's soul before it was chased away, and Voldemort's little bit of cosmic ectoplasm was floating around and took over? What would happen if Harry became Voldemort at 13? And that's where that story's going. It's your inspiration can come from just about anywhere. It can come from something your family says. It can come from something your dog does. It can come from something that you've watched or you've read, and you sit there and you think, I could take that in a different direction. It'd be so cool if it went this way instead of this way. Anything that kicks off that what if. Because that is the two most important words in an author's life. What if? Because your own imagination is the only limit you have to what you can write, what you can create, what kind of world you can build. So I encourage you, keep a little notebook, a little diary at your side. And I've got crap ton of paper laying around here because I never know when something will hit me. Oh, what if? And I'll scribble down the idea and a few sentences about the idea and what direction I want to take it, and then it'll be set aside. I've got a stack of them somewhere around here. All different kinds of ideas for one-shots and full-on fictions. So yeah, just keep a little notebook, a little diary right at your side, and when the inspiration hits you, write it down. Write it down, because if you don't, you'll forget, and then you'll sit there and like, oh, there was a story I was gonna, what the hell was it? Shit, I can't remember. And that's what you'll do, and it'll be gone. If you're lucky, you'll be able to retain it. If you're lucky. I'm not quite so lucky. I'm 62 years old, going on 63. And I can tell you the Swiss cheese is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah. Okay, so that's all I have to say about that today. I'll see you next Saturday for another little chat about writing. And I will see you tomorrow for another review. We will be talking about one of my all-time favorite bands, OTEP. Here's hoping you have a really great day. Don't work too hard. It's the weekend. Everybody needs to rest. A little bit of housework, fine. A little bit of, puttering in the garden, fine. But get your rest, both mental, physical, and emotional, so that you're able to face the new work day with a good attitude and a relaxed demeanor, because I can guarantee by the end of the week it won't be like that. Been there, done that too many times to count. So, yeah. So have a great one, and I shall see you tomorrow.